a few minutes until the fun starts. Now is a great time to make sure that you have your cocktail or a mocktail, some snacks, and if you have a chance, we would love for you to take this time to support the work that we're doing with the Fibroid Foundation. We have a couple of ways that you can do that, and the best way and the most fun way is that we have an awesome raffle going on. I would love if you guys could head to the link that you see on your screen here, and that's where you can buy raffle tickets. That'll give you an opportunity to enter into our raffle. And then if you're looking for a way to donate and support to the Fibroid Foundation, we've made it super easy for you. All you have to do is text ASKHER, ASKHER, and you text it to the phone number 202-978-4224. And you can donate straight through your phone, straight through your text, and we would be so appreciative. You get to help make a difference in the lives of millions of women who are going through this. We get to make real change, and we can't do it without your support. So if you'd like to make a donation via text, again, that phone number is 202-978-4224, and text ASKHER. Thank you so much. Your support means so much, and let's continue. With only a few minutes until the fun starts, now is a great time to make sure that you have your cocktail or a mocktail, some snacks, and if you have a chance, we would love for you to take this time to support the work that we're doing with the Fibroid Foundation. We have a couple of ways that you can do that, and the best way and the most fun way is that we have an awesome raffle going on. I would love if you guys could head to the link that you see on your screen here, and that's where you can buy raffle tickets. That'll give you an opportunity to enter into our raffle. And then if you're looking for a way to donate and support to the Fibroid Foundation, we've made it super easy for you. All you have to do is text ASKHER, ASKHER, and you text it to the phone number 202-978-4224. And you can donate straight through your phone, straight through your text, and we would be so appreciative. You get to help make a difference in the lives of millions of women who are going through this. We get to make real change, and we can't do it without your support. So if you'd like to make a donation via text, again, that phone number is 202-978-4224, and text ASKHER. Thank you so much. Your support means so much, and let's continue. With only a few minutes until the fun starts, now is a great time to make sure that you have your cocktail or a mocktail, some snacks, and if you have a chance, we would love for you to take this time to support the work that we're doing with the Fibroid Foundation. We have a couple of ways that you can do that, and the best way and the most fun way is that we have an awesome raffle going on. I would love if you guys could head to the link that you see on your screen here, and that's where you can buy raffle tickets. That'll give you an opportunity to enter into our raffle. And then if you're looking for a way to donate and support to the Fibroid Foundation, we've made it super easy for you. All you have to do is text ASKHER, ASKHER, and you text it to the phone number 202-978-4224, and you can donate straight through your phone, straight through your text, and we would be so appreciative. You get to help make a difference in the lives of millions of women who are going through this. We get to make real change, and we can't do it without your support. So if you'd like to make a donation via text, again, that phone number is 202-978-4224, and text ASKHER. Thank you so much. Your support means so much, and let's continue.
welcome to the Fibroid Foundation Gala, or as it's been marketed on the internet, it's called the Un-Gala. Nevertheless, this is still a great celebration because it's an opportunity for awareness. It's not just an opportunity for you to understand, but for awareness of things that you probably had no idea about. And I'm honored to be here tonight, and we're going to hear from the founder and CEO of the Fibroid Foundation, Soteria Venable. She's a dynamic individual. So when she comes to the stage, I want you to make sure that you clap 4 times as much, because that's how much of a dynamic individual she is. But before we get started, I want to let you know something about what this means. It means to start a conversation, to be in a conversation about things that go on that maybe you don't know about. Maybe you don't understand what fibroids are all about. Maybe you just don't have a clue. But hopefully, before this night is over, you will understand, and you will be able to talk to someone to help them through the situation that they're going through. You know, there's many women who have to deal with fibroids, and it is not, obviously I cannot do that. But my compassion is there. My wife has experienced it. My cousins have experienced it. And I know family members that have experienced it. And it is not a fun road. But I just want you to know that what you need to do is get into a conversation with someone about it. And speaking of which, Soteria started something called the Ask Her, #AskHer, because maybe you're not dealing with it. And I'm saying this not just to the women that may not have dealt with it, but obviously the guys, because you know somebody that has dealt with fibroids, and you can have a conversation and guide them to information, whether it be doctors, whether it be holistic, whether it be something else, that even if it's some kind of way that you can lead them to this information so that they can be healed, they can be helped, they can manage through a situation that's really tough to deal with. And by the way, my name is Kim Chase. I'm with WBJC Radio. I'm the business manager for the station. We play some beautiful music. So in some trying times and in times when people are going through a lot of stuff, you especially probably need to listen to something like that if you're ever driving in traffic in Baltimore, because that can make you say a few words that you should not be saying. But I'm going to move on from there. But it's a beautiful station. WBJC Radio has been around since the 50s, and I'm so proud to be a part of that team there. And as we move on, I'm going to ask Soteria in just a moment to come to the stage. And I want you to know that as she comes to the stage, like I said, make sure you are clapping 4 times as much, because I want her to, how can I put this? I wanted her to hear a thunderous applause when she comes to the stage, okay? And keep in mind that this is an organization that is an advocate. There are all kinds of advocates for different things that's going on, but this is an organization that is an advocate for people who are either not talking about it or need to talk about it, or even further than that, okay? So I want you to keep all of that in mind, and I want you to, right now, keep in mind also, one more thing. You know what? Sometimes, the thoughts take a little rabbit trail, but they come back. Here we go. This is the 8th, or September was the 8th anniversary of Fibroid Foundation. Put your hands together for that. That 8th anniversary, 8 years There's some organizations that's not even surviving after 8 weeks, 8 months, but 8 years and still in the mix. Been up on Capitol Hill, she's been talking to congressmen, she's been talking to doctors, to holistic doctors, she's been talking to anybody that she can talk to get this out here, to get the information out here about fibroids, about fibroid tumors. So right now, put your hands together for Soteria Venable, founder and CEO of Fibroid Foundation.
Thank you so much, Kim, and welcome everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to our second annual Un-Gala. Yay! It's so wonderful to see you all, and I'd like to start by thanking our amazing, badass, engaged, and aware community. You all are awesome. You inspire us daily, and we really want to convey how much we appreciate your insights, your calls, your notes, and just the feedback that you provide us, because we talk about that as a team constantly, and it really is inspirational for us. So thank you for your presence and for your energy. We really, really appreciate it. We kicked off February with the Fibroid Summit. I had a thought that there were no patient-organized research efforts, and so we decided to invite researchers from all over the country to speak about cutting-edge fibroid research. And they responded incredibly positively, and so did you. We asked researchers and clinicians lots of questions, and they answered them. And it was important to have that patient perspective on their work. And we brought together people from over 90 countries. Can you believe that? It was incredible. So now, naturally, with reaching 90 countries, that will be an annual event. So coming up in February, we will again have the Fibroid Summit. March brought the reintroduction of the Stephanie Tubbs Jones Fibroid Research and Education Act. And we were just thrilled that Congresswoman Yvette Clarke of New York reintroduced the bill into the House. And that was such an amazing milestone, and she is such a wonderful supporter of our organization, and we'll have an opportunity to hear from her later. Fibroid Awareness Month was our busiest July ever. The wonderful, amazing ambassadors carried a message of hope. They gave shout outs from their hometowns, which I think many of you saw, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And the month was capped off by the introduction of the Stephanie Tubbs Jones Fibroid Research and Education Act in the Senate. It was introduced by Cory Booker and Shelley Moore Capito. And we are just absolutely thrilled about that. And we'll continue to need your support to see that bill cross the finish line. September, as Kim mentioned, and we just love Kim, brought our 8th anniversary. And we appreciate the donations in increments of 8 that helped us to build a solid schedule of programs for 2022, because we want to bring free programming all the time, and so your contributions and our partnerships allow us to do exactly that. Your support is just really incredibly vital to us being able to reach everyone that needs assistance. So today, for our second gala, I must share that the pandemic has really revealed so much to us. It has shown us how your adjustments to working from home may have been a positive aspect in your plight with fibroids and you're seeking menstrual care. And we really took your feedback to heart, and we will be communicating that through 2022 in a special campaign, so stay tuned for that. So as we continue to grow, let's not only just grow, but really push the envelope. Really let your voice be heard. I hope that me starting this organization without any medical background inspires you to use your voice. And I've really amazed myself in what I've been able to contribute in medical settings from the patient perspective. I encourage you all to do that, because when our voices are grouped, it's much, much more powerful. So let's launch off Gala 2021, and I'll welcome Kim back to the stage.
Okay. Thank you, Soteria. It is time for two guys that are amazing musicians. You know, sometimes even as a musician myself, I'm a drummer, and it amazes me how much musicians can keep inside their head at one time. You know, they are the epitome of, I guess, being ADD or ADHD or something.
It's amazing what we can't keep in our head. Right. To be quite honest.
So, you know.
There's things I wish we could keep in our head.
I had to call a locksmith today to get into my car.
You did?
But I remembered all the songs, so.
Oh, well, this is Ronnie, and this is Drew, or as they like to be called, ketchup and mustard.
That's right.
Hit it, guys.
All right. Well, we had requests for some something uplifting, Drew. Lifting up, you know, something signifying that. So I'm thinking.
Still standing, you just fade away. You know, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. You know, I'm still standing after all this time. Picking up the pieces of my heart without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could hold through it. Started down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made me to cut me down. If our love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. You know, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. You know, I'm still standing after all this time. Pieces of my heart without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Oh no, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. You know, I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my heart without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing.
Uplifting, still standing, still here.
As you sat there for 3 minutes, Ronnie.
I sat there.
All right, since you opened up the festivities with the with the Elton John. I will counter you with the Billy Joel to start out.
All right, that's fine.
Well, you were uptown riding in your limousine with your fine pop gallery clothes. You had the Dom Perignon in your hand and the spoon up your nose. But when you wake up in the morning with your head on fire and your eyes too bloody to see, go ahead and cry in your comfort, but don't come bitching to me. 'Cause you had to be a big shot, didn't you? Had to open up your mouth. You had to be a big shot, didn't you? All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You had to be a big shot last night. Whoa. They were all impressed with your house to dress and your people that you knew at a length. And the story of your latest success kept them so entertained. But now you just don't remember everything you said, and you're not sure that you want to know. I'll give you one hit, honey, you sure did put on a show. Yes, yes, you had to be a big shot, didn't you? Had to move it to the crowd. You had to be a big shot, didn't you? All your friends were so knocked down. You had to have the last word last night. You're so much fun to be around. You had to have the front page full time. You had to be a big shot last night. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. There's no big sense taking 2 cents in if you know when to leave it alone. But you went over the line, you couldn't see it was time to go home. No, 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 you had to be a big shot, did you? Had to open up your mouth. You had to be a big shot, did you? All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You had to be a big shot last night. Whoa. Hey.
At this time, we will hear a special message from our presenting sponsor, AbbVie.
Hi, I'm Andrea Coe, the Interim Therapeutic Area Lead for Women's Health at AbbVie. I'm humbled by stories I've heard from members of your community, and I'm honored to represent AbbVie as part of this evening's Fibroid Foundation Un-Gala. But most of all, I'm inspired by the strength of the women who bravely share this journey, and inspired by the tireless advocacy of the Fibroid Foundation and its leadership. As a scientist, I believe in evidence, but I also believe in the importance and the impact of the patient voice. And we have heard loud and clear that you do want to have a better understanding of all the available options to treat your symptoms. At AbbVie, we are committed to bringing forward innovative therapies that align in every person's ability to be their best and authentic self. Their planning, family choices, and most importantly, their personal treatment goals that they establish together with their doctors to ensure that their personal goals are discussed and considered. AbbVie Women's Health leaders and team members are consistently partnering in new ways with experts, policymakers, as well as professional and patient advocacy organizations to normalize conversations about women's health and highlight disparities. Which brings us to our work with the Fibroid Foundation. We are staunch supporters of the Fibroid Foundation's mission, and through such a partnership, we can amplify the voices of those living with uterine fibroids and in turn, provide solutions that are tailored to their needs while advancing the future care in women's health. In that partnership, we too are advocates for patient access, for knowledge, empowerment, and equity for all women to create better health outcomes. Empowering women to have an open dialogue with their healthcare provider about heavy periods due to uterine fibroids is essential in identifying an individualized treatment plan. But this isn't something that just happens in the gynecologist's office. Together, we are encouraging women to openly talk about their fibroid experiences with their family, friends, and larger community. Yes, it absolutely can make a difference that is bigger than any one of us. In raising awareness of uterine fibroids, we also raise the stakes. Through sharing our knowledge and experiences, we make it more likely that more families, advisors, bosses, as well as those involved in research and clinical medicine will listen to our patients' voices. This power of our patient's voice is the fuel to making action happen. Action to prioritize women's needs when it comes to the treatment of chronic diseases like uterine fibroids, the known associated symptoms such as heavy menstrual bleeding, pain, and discomfort, and the impact to everyday quality of life. Action so that more will acknowledge and consider the full array of treatment options. We have come so far already, and together we can move even further ahead. This year's Un-Gala theme is Hope for a Healthy Tomorrow. I can feel that day is right around the corner, and AbbVie is committed to helping us to get there. On behalf of our entire team at AbbVie, we welcome you to this impactful advocacy community. We are truly grateful for all that you do. Please enjoy the gala. We have so much more to do, but let's take this time to celebrate accomplishments together. Thank you.
All right. Hey, mama, don't you treat me wrong. Come and love me, daddy, all night long, all right. Yeah, yeah. All right now, yeah, yeah. See the girl with the red dress on. She can shake it all night long, all right. Hey, yeah. All right now, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Tell me it's all right. It's all right. Baby, it's all right now. Mama, you see the girl with a diamond ring. She knows how to shake that thing all right. Don't treat me wrong. Treat me wrong. One more time.
right one, baby. Yeah. All right, here we go. Here we go. I said sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you. Oh, I can't help myself. I'm loving you and nobody else. Oh, in and out my life. Calling you go. Leaving just a bit to the end. I kissed it 1,000 times. When I call your name, girl, it starts to flame, burning in my heart, tearing it apart. No matter how I try, my love I cannot hide. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't you proud of me? Sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. Ain't you proud of me? Baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. If I have to beg and sleep on your doorstep, baby, to keep you from walking away, let your eyes laugh even as I can stand. I'm gonna love you any way I can. Whoa, sweet darling, please don't leave me, girl, don't you go. And do right of me, baby, baby, please don't leave me, girl, don't you. You know, my favorite Motown song of all time. Yeah, and it's not My Girl, it's not My Girl. It sounds like My Girl. It's this one right here, man. This is like my favorite Motown song of all time. I look out my window and watch you passing by. I say to myself, you're such a lucky guy to have a girl like her's truly a dream come true. And all the fellows in the world, she belongs to you. It was just my imagination once again running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Soon we'll be married and have a family. Oh yeah, with a cozy little cabin in the country, 2 kids, maybe 3. And I can visualize, yeah. This must be a dream, but too real it all seems. And it was just my imagination once again running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. Running away with me, yeah. It was just my imagination. That was it. That was.
For generations, women have suffered with uterine fibroids and were offered few treatment options. 70% of all women will eventually develop uterine fibroids. 26 million women in the United States have fibroids. Sadly, due to stigmas around menstruation, women often don't feel comfortable talking about menstrual concerns. Instead, they suffer in silence. Here is a glimpse into fibroids and the havoc that they can cause.
When the fibroids enlarge, they can press on the bowel, they can press on the bladder, they can make you look pregnant when you're not. You can have feelings of heaviness and discomfort. Sometimes you have severe pain, but other times it's a more chronic type of pain. And so there's a lot more to fibroids than just heavy menstrual bleeding. And the other thing about bulk symptoms is that they can be there every day of the month.
The pandemic has affected us all. For those of us with health issues, there have been additional challenges. During the Fibroid Summit, Dr. Soni Singh shared his concerns about the unique challenges that women with fibroids have faced during the pandemic.
Quite sad to see people suffer so much during the pandemic for many different reasons. But those with uterine fibroids have been dealt a really, really rough card. So, without getting into details, this is what my week has been like. This is what my day has been like. Seeing patients who were canceled early in the pandemic because we couldn't operate for a while, and then them struggling at home, dealing with all this massive bleeding or discomfort. And when we finally get their blood work done, seeing that they have a hemoglobin of 6 or 8, and I talk to them now and I say, I am so surprised that you can function. And you've talked a lot about, losing concentration and not feeling yourself. And when I tell them, look, once we get you on the right path for therapy, you're going to be a totally new person because you're working at half the blood count of what we would expect. And I've had these conversations honestly every single day. And I think in gynecology, and I do a lot of endometriosis as well, but this is the disease where the profound amount of hemorrhage and bleeding and emergencies have really stuck out in my mind as being the condition that the pandemic has really played a big role in making things worse.
Unfortunately, the pandemic is not the only time that women face challenges in getting medical care and plans for treatment. The physical burden of fibroids is just the beginning. Women diagnosed with fibroids face the mental and emotional stress of finding answers and seeking treatment. Many feel alone and are unsure of where to turn for reliable resources.
I became an ambassador because on November 1st, 2019, I was diagnosed with uterine fibroids. And upon receiving my diagnosis, and when attempting to ask questions from my healthcare provider, I was silenced. He literally shushed me. My voice was devalued and it was disregarded.
Was officially diagnosed with fibroids when I became pregnant with my doctor. With my daughter. The doctor asked me, have you ever been diagnosed with fibroids? And I was like, no. So that's my first time ever hearing anything about fibroids. And I was like, no. And I was like, yeah, so at this point, I'm pregnant. Now they're giving me a whole list of things of high risk pregnancy. Mm-hmm. So of course, I'm just like, you may not be able to carry your child full term. As where they're located will be an area to where, it's going to be kind of, your baby will be fighting for room in your womb pretty much. And so as she was actually growing in my womb, the fibroid was growing too. So it was almost like I was carrying twins on top of it was hurting, excruciating pain every day. I could not even take medicine other than Tylenol because of the baby. So that pregnancy was a really, really tough pregnancy. I could not, hold on.
And this is real. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Take your time. That's all right. You've been through a lot. That's a lot to go through.
So yeah, mentally, I wasn't prepared for it because I'm like, I'm carrying a child. I don't even know how this pregnancy is going to turn out. I don't even know, like my birth plan. I don't know if I'll be able to carry her full term. I don't know if I'll be able to have her vaginally, because they told me if, once I have her, I couldn't push too hard. It'll, may do hemorrhaging. They just gave me a whole list of worst case scenarios. So the whole pregnancy was very stressful and painful.
Kind of confused, sad, not knowing exactly what fibroids were. I didn't know what I was up against, and I didn't know what to expect. It was just, hey there, guess what? You have fibroids. And it was like, fibroids. And at that time, to me, it sounded like a big word. It sounded like, oh, it's the end of the world. What's going to happen? I had no clue as to what fibroids were. And I ended up having to do the research on my own.
But I didn't have kids, and I was thinking, okay, I want to have children. So just to say your only option is a hysterectomy is devastating. When you're in an OG, when you're in a doctor's office where women are coming in pregnant, and you're sitting in there talking about something the opposite of having a child, is very devastating. For those who don't have children, want to have children, and are dealing with this, it can be extremely emotional. And I just remember her taking a whole bunch of pictures of other surgeries that she did, and she took pictures of the actual fibroids, and it was like those Kodak pictures. I don't know if you remember, but she literally threw them at me, and I'm just looking at all these fibroids, and it was just, so I remember leaving crying. And then at that point I was so devastated, and I didn't know what to do. I knew I just didn't want to have a hysterectomy. No other option.
Now that you know some of the physical burdens and have heard these powerful fibroid stories, I know that you're wondering, is there really hope? There is definitely hope. Research is evolving and reliable data is being collected. We have new, more effective medical therapies and less invasive treatments. Technology is playing a big role in specialized imaging, which is critical in diagnosing fibroids and determining treatment plans. As a very visual person, I find the work being done to create a new 3D uterine model incredibly exciting. Here's an overview of it presented by Dr. Soni Singh, Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the Ottawa Hospital in Canada.
Is we thought about the opportunity to do 3D printing. So MRI imaging that we then render and segment. We're using engineering techniques and principles, and then we can actually have this beautiful 3D picture that we can turn and look at to plan surgery. And finally, we have a model that allows us to look at where the fibroids are. And we have a lot of hesitation as to whether this is going to be useful or not. But can you think about this, that we use this for hips, we use it for the heart. Why wouldn't we start to harness this technology and research for uterine fibroids?
Isn't that exciting? One of our advocacy messages focuses on shared decision making. The dialogue between patient and physician is so important. A focus on shared decision making merges the patient expertise in her body with the provider's medical or holistic expertise, and promotes better outcomes as a customized treatment plan is established. We are making progress, but there's still so much more work to be done. The disparities in patient health care for uterine fibroids is still a very real concern. Many women are unable to find a doctor who will fully discuss their treatment options and help to develop a unique treatment plan. Resources vary geographically, sometimes making access to care difficult. Fibroids are like snowflakes. There are many, many variables. There is so much that we have yet to learn. Why do women get them? Why do they come back? How can we prevent them? much more research is needed. We need education and advocacy as well, and we need an abundance of it. Our foundation does not stand alone in our mission. We are joined by those who also want to make a difference. I would like to take a moment to introduce some of these people. We have an outstanding board of directors. Their guidance and professional expertise enables us to develop new campaigns in advocacy and education and supports the growth of our organization. We couldn't do it without them. We have an incredible medical advisory board. These physicians are world-renowned in the field of research, education, and treatment of fibroids. Their knowledge and compassion are instrumental in everything we do to educate, advocate, and support women suffering from fibroids. We have a dynamic group of volunteer ambassadors. These women give of their time and talents. They have a passion to help those in their community. They do not want any woman to feel that they are alone or scared along their journey. This peer-to-peer support and encouragement is pivotal in all that we do. This movement started with one voice. One voice became thousands of voices, and we continue to organically grow. Join us in this movement. There are many ways that you can make a difference. You can donate. Your gifts helped us reach over 1 million people this year. You can become an ambassador or join a chapter. You will touch the lives of many and join a sisterhood of amazing women. To quote Diana Hardy, it only takes one voice at the right pitch to start an avalanche. You can join our social media family. We offer many resources for fibroids, as well as menstrual care and menopause. Share our website, Facebook, and Instagram links. You never know whose life you'll touch with this small act. We can bring women and girls everywhere hope for a healthy tomorrow.
Motown was back way before Teslas. Way before Teslas.
All right. The Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
The Rhapsody.
Right.
The Raps.
This is gonna be, there's not a lot of us here in person. This will require a participation and sing-along by, from those of us who are. And you know who you are, because you're who you are. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Call it a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low, anyway the wind blows, does it really matter to me? All right, the first word is mama, so sing mama, yeah. Just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, and now you're gone and all the way. Say mama. That's right. To make you cry, if I'm not back again, it's time tomorrow. Carry on, as if nothing really matters. Second verse, different from the first. Too late.
shivers.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta live the life that's the truth. Mama. With the wind. I don't wanna die. Sometimes wish I'd never been born alone. I see a little silhouette of a man. Shalaboosh, we'll do the fine thing. I'm the lightning, very, very lightning. Galileo, 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 big it up. Just a poor boy nobody loves. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from his monstrosity. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? This man I love, we will let you go, let it go. This man I will let you go, let it go. This man I will let you go. Will I let you go? Will I let you go? Let me go. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. The Beelzebub is a devil side for me. For me, for you. So you think you can stone me, spinning my heart? So you think you can love me, ready to die? Oh, baby. Can't you just do me, baby? Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me.
Well, that was epic.
Yeah, it's a big one.
All right, I got some David Bowie. This is crazy. We were doing a show last night, actually.
You were just telling me about
we
this.
had a bunch of David Bowie songs requested last night, so this is pretty cool here. So, do the best Bowie here for you I can.
Let's dance.
Bowie was kind of creepy, man. He was creepy. He was kind of like the guy that you never wanted your daughter to date when she was in high school. You know?
Let's swing. A color lights up your face. Let's swing. Sway to the crowd in an empty space. Oh. If you say run, I'll run with you. If you say hide, we'll hide. Because my love for you will break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, tremble like a let's dance for fear tonight is all. Let's dance for fear your grace should fall. Let's sway. You can look into my eyes. Let's sway. I've got a moonlight, serious moonlight. If you say run, I'll run with you. If you say hide, we'll hide. Because my love for you will break my heart in two. If you should fall into my arms, tremble like a let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's dance to the song they're playing on the radio. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance.
Three distinguished honorees that are being given awards from the Fibroid Foundation. It's the Inspiration Award, the Physicians Award, and also the Founder Award. The community of supporters is so incredibly engaged that it is difficult to choose. Man, what can you say about that? That's when you have a hard time, so many people doing so much good work, it's hard for you to choose. But I can't wait to find out who the honorees are. And so right now, Soteria is coming back to the stage and she's going to announce who the awards go to.
So I get to do something really fun, which is present the awards. The first award is the Inspiration Award. The Inspiration Award is awarded to the special person who provided a really incredible boost of enthusiasm and dedication to our efforts this year. This year's award goes to an amazing inspiration, Mervyn L. Jones II. I have some more nice things to say about you, so just give me 1 second. When we reached out to Mervyn Jones to introduce our organization, he immediately met with our team, which I thought was so kind because he didn't know who we were. And he really was warm, gracious, and dedicated to continuing the groundbreaking work of his mother, the Honorable Stephanie Tubbs Jones. And I cannot say enough wonderful things about the Congresswoman. She was just a dynamic, amazing, groundbreaking, lovely lady. We interviewed Mervyn in July for Fibroid Awareness Month, And our team was so inspired by his dedication to family, his hometown, and the fibroid community. We learned so much about him, from him, about how a fibroid diagnosis can impact a family. And he shows us all how meaningful the support of family members can be when facing a diagnosis. We were all very hopeful as we discussed his mother's groundbreaking fibroid legislation from 2005. Today, in 2021, Mervyn is lending his important voice to women's health. You can clap there. We are grateful for his perspective and commitment to making a difference. After watching all the video that I could find on Congresswoman Tubbs Jones, I know that the apple didn't fall far from the tree, as the saying goes. Mervyn is the principal of MLJ Strategies and managing director at Ancora Consulting. It is with great pleasure that I announce this year's Inspiration Award honoree, Mervyn L. Jones II.
Soteria and the rest of the Fibroid Foundation team, I want to say thank you to you all for bringing me into this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known this legislation was being brought up. In 2005, I was a sophomore in college, and my mom was just on The Daily Show, and everybody was making noise about what was going on The Daily Show. But then, little did I know there was much more groundbreaking things to be done while that was going on Comedy Central. 20 years later, we have brought up this bill again, and it is amazing in the support that we've gotten. We still have work to do, but it's amazing that a dear friend and a sorority sister of my mother, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from New York, was the spearhead for this. And without hesitation and just a ask from Soteria and the rest of her team, made it just that much easier for me to say, let's do this and let's figure out a way to get this through. We are in a different climate when it comes to Congress, and people who need to hear this story and hear the need, why we need this funding for such a momentous bill that's wrapped into the Momnibus and Tech That Saves Mom Act and things of that nature, where it's time for women to be heard, not just African American women who are extremely hit with this disease, but women of all walks of life. So we want to make sure that we continue this fight, and I'm here for you and the foundation and making sure that we get this done. So thank you again for the award. I appreciate the recognition, and we have much more to do.
So this year's Physicians Award is awarded to that special person who generously shared their medical expertise to help us expand our network, develop more research design opportunities, and to provide patient-centered feedback to the medical community, which is oh so important. This year's award goes to Dr. William Catharino of Uniformed Services University. I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Bill Catharino for a few years now. He's always lighthearted, generous with his time, and full of helpful information backed by data. When I need to understand the nuances of a scientific paper or report, I often reach out to Dr. Catharino. Our organization has benefited from his gracious inclusion of us at medical conferences as well as seminars. We all know how incredibly busy physicians are, right? Well, an added accolade when it comes to Dr. Bill Catharino is that he usually responds to me within minutes, which always blows my mind. Dr. Catharino, listen to this, quite a bio, is professor and chair of the research division at the Uniformed Services University. He graduated from the University of Michigan with high honors and high distinction with the Bachelor's of Science, and the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Alpha Omega Alpha, with his doctorate and PhD degrees, well, his medical degree and his PhD degrees. He completed his obstetrics and gynecology residency at Duke University, Medical Center and his Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility Fellowship at the Combined Federal Fellowship. After completing his fellowship, he joined the faculty at the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences while continuing to provide patient care at NIH. Just incredible. It's such an honor for us to have Dr. Catharino's expertise as a member of our advisory board, and it's an honor to present him with our first ever Physicians Award. Would you like to say a few words, Bill? Step over here. I'll hold this,
Thank
and
you.
then you can.
Thank you. I in tears. What an honor. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all that you do for the cause of fibroids. The fact is that we're actively working hard to try to bring this into the mainstream, make sure that people recognize that it is a significant disease, it is a significant problem, and it is treatable. But it's not just hysterectomy. We have many options, and this is something that shouldn't limit a person's choice as far as their decision to have children, to their lifestyle, or any other issue. And I've had wonderful opportunities, and it's been really a blessing to be able to do the things that I've done, and I really appreciate it. The only time that I've ever questioned it is tonight. I'm thinking I wasted my life. I should have been a musician. But thank you, thank you, thank you. It really means a lot to me. I'm just very touched. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. The Founders Award is awarded to that special person who devotes their efforts and network to helping us realize our mission. This year's award goes to an amazing leader, Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke. Yes. 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 Congresswoman Clarke represents the 9th Congressional District of New York. She's dedicated herself to continuing the legacy of excellence established by the late Honorable Shirley Chisholm, and she hails from a family legacy, because her mom was also a legislator, of outstanding community service. And she was a very dear friend of Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones. So she brings so much warmth and history to our efforts now. Congresswoman Clarke is chair of the Homeland Cybersecurity Infrastructure Protection and Innovation Subcommittee under the jurisdiction of the House Committee on Homeland Security, and was co-chair of the Powerful Energy and Commerce Committee during the 116th Congress. The Congresswoman has been so generous with her time in support of our advocacy efforts. Whenever we reached out to her, she always responds positively and meets with us. So we greatly appreciate that. Her caring approach, thoughtful planning, and personal insights have made fibroid legislation again a major talking point. We are so grateful, Congresswoman Clarke, for your insights, leadership, and support. It is an honor to present you with this year's Founders Award.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke, and I proudly represent New York's 9th District, that's Central and South Brooklyn. What an honor to be nominated and selected to receive the Fibroid Foundation Founders Award. I'm deeply moved to accept this honor, and I gratefully accept this award on behalf of all women who know the struggles of living with uterine fibroids. It is an honor to call the Fibroid Foundation a partner committed to helping women affected by uterine fibroids. My personal story with uterine fibroids is one you hear from women of every ethnic background in every corner of our nation. It's years of pain and uncertainty. From the day I first climbed Capitol Hill, I suffered from uterine fibroids. Living through my own challenges with uterine fibroids, I invariably thought of the millions of disadvantaged women who possess no means for treatment and no solution for their pain. And sadly, my struggle with uterine fibroids is a common one. Today, about 26 million women and girls in the United States between the ages of 15 and 50 have uterine fibroids. About 15 million of them have severe symptoms. Of the 26 million, No group suffers more from fibroids than Black women, who are twice as likely to develop fibroids than Hispanic women and 4 times more likely than white women. Get them at a younger age, deal with more larger tumors, and experience harsher symptoms. That is why I went to work to introduce the Stephanie Tubbs Jones Uterine Fibroid Research and Education Act of 2021. Simply put, H.R. 2007 is inspired by necessity, because we cannot in good conscience continue to neglect all of those who suffer an illness as debilitating and as pervasive in our communities. The Stephanie Tubbs Jones Uterine Fibroid Research and Education Act was named for my late dear friend, Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones, who fought tirelessly to bring the critical attention and funding to this issue that it deserves. Few diseases exist in America that are so radically underfunded compared to the burden and pain they inflict. This bill will change that. We're going to establish new research funding through NIH at $150 million over 5 years. We're going to expand a CMS database on chronic conditions to include information on services provided to women and girls with fibroids. We're going to create a public education program through the CDC, and we're going to direct the Health Resources and Services Administration to develop and disseminate fibroid information to healthcare providers. It is paramount we do not back down, and we do not allow ourselves or our mission to be ignored. Having worked alongside your organization and others dedicated to this cause for so long, I know you won't. True change is on the horizon, and it begins with you. So thank you for your time, your bravery, your work towards overcoming uterine fibroids, and thank you so much for the Inspiring Founders Award. Please stay updated on my legislative efforts on this important cause by following me on my social media and signing up for my newsletter. In the meantime, stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy, get vaccinated if you haven't already, and take good care. Thank you.
For closing speeches and announcements, and all right. Hope everybody enjoyed the dueling piano portion of the Un-Gala. So I have a pleasure sharing our day with you, doing a show for your organization. It's such a great cause. So thanks for letting us be a part of it. And
Hey, we were here last year.
we were here last year too. It was also I think we have better attendance this year actually. Yeah, a little bit. How's our online attendance gonna be? It's gonna be good. All right. So I'm gonna take it home with this request here. All right, Ronnie, you already played one 80s song with ridiculously high vocal notes. See what happens when we do it again.
really appreciate you all being here this evening, and so I would like to close by thanking our ambassadors. We have ambassadors all over the world, and these women are just incredible. For our viewers, if you didn't get a chance to watch Diagnosis Fibroids during Fibroid Awareness Month, you can find the recording under our events section on our website, and you will hear some really personal stories that will resonate with you, hopefully give you some great tips for care, and just let you walk a minute in the shoes of these amazing, amazing women. Yeah, let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand. And Kim, I'd like to thank you for year 2. You just are amazing. We appreciate you. We appreciate the radio station and all that you all do in the Baltimore community. So thank you for your continuous support.
You're quite welcome. It is an honor to be here and to be able to push something forward that is making inroads in progress that should have been made 20 years ago, but it's being done now. And Dr. Catharino, I appreciate you, especially for saying that there are other options. And that's so very, very important. So thank you for having me again. Thank you for having me here. And when you're listening to WBJC in Baltimore, 91.5 FM, just make sure that you know that it's going to be your quiet moment, and it's going to help you to relax, to relate, and to release. I stole that from Debbie Allen. And remember that. So it's going to help you to think about who you can talk to next about Fibroid Foundation.
And this part is very special to me. I remember when it was just me managing this organization, working another job, and then slowly I took the leap and moved into managing the foundation full time. And it was still just me, and then we added one person, and then another person, and then another wonderful person, and another, and we're a mighty team of 5. But I absolutely adore these ladies, and it's such a blessing. We have our team meetings on Mondays. It's such a blessing to get up on Monday morning and know that I'm going to see their smiling faces and that we generally care about one another. So with that being said, Courtney's not here, but Courtney manages research. She is amazing. She's so funny. Yeah, so give Courtney Miss Courtney Hall. Karen is in Florida, but Karen is our events guru. So Karen Janice, let's give her a round of applause. You met Emma. Emma has absolutely rocked our social media. Emma, we love you and all that you do and your creativity. And our mission control, Brittany Washington. Brittany, I adore you. It is such a blessing to have you and have your support and guidance all the time. I'd like to thank our board of directors and our medical advisory board for all of your guidance and leadership and your commitment to supporting us. So thank you so much. And I'd like to round out by thanking our presenting sponsor, AbbVie, because this would not have been possible without your support.